What's up, everybody? So, today we're going to be reacting to a video called I Watched Another Guy Take My Girl. And let's just get right into it.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Swaggy out here. Appreciate you guys for the support on the last video, man. Let's keep it going with this one. But this is definitely a sadder video. And it's just something that happened to me with this girl. And I tend to beat myself up over this types of stuff because I've had this channel for 4 years and I don't think I've actually seen any growth or any success. In the sense of my confidence and my ability to talk to people, I feel like has gone up from just making videos and documenting it and things like that. But it's just gotten to the point where it feels like I can't ever win. And I never believe in giving up. I think giving up is the worst thing you can do because I'd rather have a 1% chance than a 0% chance. But it's just things like this that really grind my gears. And let's get into it. So I went to a party on Friday. For those of you that don't know, house parties, one of the best ways you can meet girls. I mean, we're talking about in a social environment, everyone's pretty much comfortable with you because you have at least one thing in common, like you know the person that's having the party. And there was this one girl.
I wouldn't say that's the best place to meet them. I would say it's in normal life. Um, there has to be some type of circumstance that brings you into contact with other people. I mean, I guess not. I'm not saying you would want to date a coworker, but if you're going out with a coworker and they introduce you to somebody, that type of thing is more I don't know. I think you shouldn't really be looking, in my opinion. That's never worked out for me, but we're gonna let him get back into the story.
Who Her and I were just flirting with each other, and she's a pretty girl. Just sort of fit what I was looking for from a physical standpoint. And I didn't know if she liked me or not, to be honest with you. I didn't think she liked me at all, but then her friend told me that she liked me. She was like, she's just being really shy because she's like into you. And this is a girl who's 5 years younger than me, by the way. So like younger girls are always going to be more shy if they don't have like a lot of experience and things like that. So I made like a pretty big mistake. Like I said, I typically beat myself up. And by the way, so you guys can see me sweating, but I typically beat myself up over everything, and it's sort of like a blessing and a curse. It pushes me to do the best I can, but then we'll get into it, man. This is gonna be a really like dark ending, but just bear with me. So I had a ticket to an event after the party, but I was having so much fun there and with her that she wanted me to stay because she knew I was leaving. Like she knew where I was going, and she like knew I was gonna go and like meet other girls, and she didn't want that. And I ended up leaving, and when I left, I when I went to the event, like it was basically meaningless because every girl that was there that I talked to, like I just was thinking about the other girl, and I was like, why would I leave? Like, I got into the party, which I wasn't even supposed to be there, but like he kind of was like, all right, yeah, you can come, bro. And then he liked me so much because I got him a gift, and I was cool, and I was being myself too, which made it even better. And then he invited me Saturday, which I was thinking like, all right, well, I'll just go back tomorrow, and hopefully she's there. And then she was.
I'm having a hard time following the story. I'm not even gonna lie. But by the way, this camera angle sucks. So you went to the party, you left the party to go to another event, and then I don't know what happened from there.
There. And then she came up to me as soon as I got there and started talking to me. And she was like teasing me, trying to roast me, like typical girl stuff. And long story short, I'm not going to waste, 20 minutes of your guys' life with this. But long story short, she actually like made a move on me. I wasn't making any moves on her, which for those of you guys that don't know, I mean, you could probably just tell by listening to this video. But I'm like super shy and I don't have a lot of experience with girls. I've only been with six girls in my life at 26. Like that's not, I'm not saying that's like a low amount, but it's not like the most. And yeah, so she made a move at me. She like grabbed my hand and she took me outside where no one else was, and I didn't do anything with her. Like I didn't make a move. I don't know, I was just being kind of weird. And yeah, so nothing happened.
I'm not gonna say that you should have made a move in that type of situation. You should have just talked and played off her energy is the best thing to do in that type of situation.
Happened, and I came back, and everyone was like, "Oh, did you guys like? What'd you guys do?" Like everyone was talking about it, and I was like, nothing, nothing, man. And then yeah, so then that happened, and like obviously like to that point, like I was cooked, as the young kids say. I was cooked, and yeah,
No, you're not necessarily cooked in that situation, but I mean, if you were too awkward, that's when you're cooked, which is that's what he's giving off, but don't know.
yeah. So then that was obviously like that was it, and to that point, like it was kind of over, and then all of a sudden, like she disappeared, and another guy there disappeared. I think you guys can kind of get where I'm going. So
Ah,
yeah, that's the title of the video. And I ended up leaving. Obviously, like I left because I was like, this sucks. So I ended up leaving. I dapped up the owner of the house. I dapped up a couple of people that were with him. I was like, I'm gonna take off. I didn't make a scene. I wasn't getting angry. I wasn't like crying. I was trying to like be as cordial as possible. And I
you're too old for that anyway. I would hope you wouldn't do something like that. No matter how awkward you are, you're too old for that.
had a free ticket to an event, so I ended up going. And yeah, I just was honest. I didn't tell them exactly what happened. I wasn't like, oh, this guy got with the girl I wanted. I was just like, yeah. I was like, he was like, you have a good night. I was like, yeah, could have been a little bit better. And then, yeah, I started hanging out with these new people, and they were like, hey, you want to come to an after party? And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And then I go to the after party, and it was absolutely incredible. It was my first time there. It was amazing. And it did temporarily take my mind off of what had happened, but then I realized like it really didn't. So then I'm driving home, and this is kind of like where the story gets dark. And I remember I got on a straightaway, and I was going like 60, and then I was going 70, and I was going 80, and I was going 90, and I was going 100. And I knew the roads. Like I know the road like the back of my hand because I've been driving on them. Like I went on them for college every day and things like that. And I knew that like if I didn't slow down, then I was gonna crash. Like I was gonna die. And I remember like taking my foot off of bro, I'm gonna tear up. I already know, but yeah, I remember taking my foot like off of the accelerator and like braking. And I was like, if I held it like a couple of seconds longer, like I knew like, bro, it was over. But I was like, I just thought of the potential that I have. And even though I haven't seen the success with girls, like even though I did have my own place for like 2.5 years off of YouTube, and that didn't work out, and I'm trying to get back. But I knew that I couldn't give up because, for one, it's selfish because people would be devastated, obviously, if I just like, died. But I knew as well that like I'm going to figure this out. Like I'm gonna be somebody. And I've got
Oh man, it's gotta take more than a situation like that for you to get to that place. It's gotta take more than just a small situation. You didn't even know her. You didn't. You knew her for a couple hours, and now this is where it drove you to. Mm. I don't even know what to say about that yet.
84,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've got 20. I'm about to hit 22K on Instagram. So like I'm not like necessarily like a nobody, but I just know that eventually things are gonna click. And I can't let like something as stupid as like a random ass girl, come in the way of at least like the little momentum that I have. Like I am about to get into the Instagram creator program. You need 3 million views, and I hit that in basically a month. You get 3 months minimum. So I'm about to get into that, and I'm also really good at MLB The Show. I'm in the top 0.5% of players, so I'm trying to do content on that, and then I'm trying
Does
to do a bunch of
Instagram
things. But
pay?
obviously, like I do.
And I'm guessing this isn't his main YouTube channel because this doesn't have that many. It says Swaggy. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Does Instagram pay for content? Does not directly pay creators. Instagram does not directly pay creator. However, creators can earn money through advertising revenue. So I don't know what the creator program for Instagram is. And
Ideally, I want to find like a main source of income. So yeah, that's that. So I just remember like thinking in my mind, I was like, take the easy way out. And obviously, like, I don't want you guys to think I'm saying it was specifically over this encounter, because it kind of like, it's like whatever, but that's happened to me a lot. And you start to think you're not good enough, but um
no, you're just. I mean, I'm guessing you're not trying to talk outside of when things like that happened to you, when she came to you.
at the end of the day, like, it is kind of my fault for not like making a move and things like that. But just the girl that I was with a couple of weeks ago
And when you don't try to outside of that, when that does happen, when they come to you, you're not gonna know what to say.
that I really liked, and she, we hooked up or whatever, and she ghosted me, and I was like, damn, it's really like that. And yeah, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, man. I know it was kind of dark,
That right there, you can still see it on his face. Good God.
kind of deep, but it's so hot in here, man, with the windows closed and stuff. But I just like to have privacy when I'm making videos like this. But it hurts and it sucks knowing
Like I said, a house party is definitely not the place to go. Don't try that again. That because there's so many other people there for the same reason that you're there, and they're way better at what you're trying to do than they're way better. There's other people there for the exact same reason, and they're way better at it than you are.
that. That's not the right way to phrase it. Obviously, like, friends and family see these videos, and it never was supposed to be like that. But word gets out and things like that. But I just know that I don't know when it will be, but I know one day I'm gonna have everything that I always wanted. I'm gonna have consistency. I'm gonna have that girl, and if it means that I have to have a girl that I wanted taken from me, 6 times at this point, then so be it. But I'm gonna keep fighting, and even though it was a darker video, as crazy as it sounds, I'm still moving forward, and uh haven't been getting into the addictions, like the PMO. So I haven't done that in, like, I don't know when the last time I did, but I haven't done that, like. And yeah, I mean, I might be hanging by a thread, but I already know things are gonna happen, man. Like, I'm just working every single day, 24/7, to be able to accomplish this. And it sucked with that girl, but life goes on, man. There's other girls out there. There's what, over 7 billion people on this earth. So yeah, but that's
Just looking at him, I wouldn't think that he would have this problem. This problem specifically, where he can't get. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he would have this specific problem. But like I said, at a house party, there's gonna be people way way better at it than you. So that's why he's probably having the problem that he's having.
pretty much it, man.
You need to go to like an anime convention, more your crowd. Nah, I'm not prejudging anybody, but I would like to go to anime convention. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, that's probably more your style. House party, you're not gonna find anime convention girls there. So
Hopefully you guys learned something from the video. Shout out to Jackson, man, for bringing back his alt channel. And yeah, I want to inspire people. I want you guys to know that you're not alone. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that probably can relate. Like, I don't know if they can relate to like what happened to me specifically, but I'm sure there was a girl that they wanted, and like, didn't work out. But at the end of the day, the worst thing you can do is give up, think you're not good enough, man, because you might miss out on the next girl. I always say, like, if you walk on the street and you approach a girl and she rejects you, and let's say you just kind of give up and you're walking home, and then like you make eye contact with, or actually you probably wouldn't even make eye contact because you'd be so defeated. and that girl looks up at you and you just like walk by and you don't even notice her. That's something that I've always been afraid of, is like if I give up, it's gonna be that next like approach or that next date, like that's gonna work out. But it does suck how much difficulty it is to date nowadays. I understand that I'm gonna get comments about like, oh well, that wasn't really a girl that you wanted anyway if she did that, but it's not even necessarily about like longevity. It's about gaining experience and understanding girls, because my lack of experience literally is like an indicative of what had happened. Like if I had experience, then I would have been able to hook up with that girl, and she wouldn't have been like a wifey like girlfriend material, but she would have been a girl to like see consistently. And again, like it
Jeez. I don't even like. So you were speeding down the road, contemplating, contemplating S for somebody that you weren't even gonna take serious.
if you guys have dealt with PMO addiction, like porn, like masturbation, like people talk about cocaine, ketamine, and Molly, like these drugs are so bad, and drinking and smoking cigarettes, but like I literally think porn is a worse addiction than those. Like porn is like literally the worst thing you can be addicted to. I'm not gonna get into it because it's already like too deep and too long of a video, but it was a little bit longer than I anticipated. But fuck, man, it's difficult. It really is. You see your friends around you that you grew up with, your siblings getting married, engaged, and you're just like sitting here. You can't even get like a single girl. But I'm gonna
You're 26, you're alright. You got plenty more time. You're just looking at specific ones. I'm sure not everybody's doing all of that you're talking about. I'm sure, and I'm sure a lot of them aren't even looking at the ones that are in that stage of life. The ones that aren't all thinking like you're thinking. They're like, "Oh, wow, they're moving too fast." You're the only one thinking, "Oh, that's where I want to be." And that might be where you want to be, but it's not necessarily that you need to be there at this moment.
keep fighting, man, because there's people out there that do believe in me, you know. And I don't just mean my family. I mean, there's people out there on the internet that believe in me and care and shit. So I'm gonna keep fighting, man. I don't give a fuck, but fuck them, man. And shout out to Jaron Duran. If you guys don't know who Jaron Duran is, make sure you guys go and look at his story. Um, I swear you won't regret it. If it's on Netflix, just look at the Red Sox documentary and just watch the Duran episode. You don't even have to watch the whole series, but
All right. So there we go. I feel like this was a bit overblown, but let me know how you guys feel, and I'm out.